been a while since I last built an apartment in The Sims, and I'm kind of in the mood to decorate today. So I made a little family, and I thought I might try and build an apartment for them. And I guess maybe this family isn't so little considering how small this apartment is. I made a couple and they're 3 kids, so I think I'd like to try and fit in 3 bedrooms into this space. Consider it a challenge. Small apartment, big family. This honestly isn't even that small of a space. Like, it's a pretty decent size apartment, but the windows are in kind of weird places, so I'm not sure how we're gonna split it off into 3 bedrooms. Mostly because of this area back here. Like, this whole space only has the 1 window, and it's kind of long and skinny, so the hardest part is gonna be trying to make the bedrooms work. I feel like we could probably try and have this be the living space. We could have like the kitchen along this wall, we could get a living room, maybe a little dining table, and then I guess maybe something like this could work for the bedrooms. That isn't actually as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I could probably make them a little bit longer if I wanted to, but then the hallway is like so long. I almost want to try and sneak an extra bathroom like right here, but I'm not sure if that's a weird choice or not. We could totally get like a shower, sink, toilet in there, and then we could have like a main bathroom with the tub and stuff for the toddler over here. Can I maybe adjust this at all? Maybe that's a better use of the space. Okay, well, this floor plan came together a lot more easily than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to split up, but this like totally works. And it's actually pretty big over here in this living space still. Can I just say, I despise this entire apartment building. The walls are too tall. This hallway makes me like irrationally angry. The fact that these 2 apartment front doors are like different doors. That one's got a window and it's red. This one doesn't. That one has a light. This one doesn't. It makes me so mad. The blue walls with the concrete, those stupid kids' room lights. I hate this hallway. And like the walls, they're so tall. It makes me so sad. You know what? This tile actually works really well for this bathroom. I don't know. Something about this seems like it's not white enough. Like that one matches a bit better. We can use that in both bathrooms. Although I might let myself have a nicer kitchen counter because I don't really know about these. Hang on. How are we gonna split this up? Like, what is the plan for this living space? I might just try and put some rugs down so that I can like sort of try and visualize it. I was initially thinking that we could do the kitchen here and like a living space maybe facing this or facing over here. But now I'm kind of wondering if I should put the kitchen like along this wall. Why? You see how that like clips a little bit? Do any of them like not have a back? See, they all get like the little back to it when you put it up against the wall. The island counter pieces don't, but I'm not gonna use the island counters. Okay, so that's not like a huge kitchen space, but I think it maybe makes sense. And then we can fit like a big dining table over here, sort of like in this little nook. I'm gonna change the chairs, don't worry. I'm just trying to figure out like the spacing, but that seems like a reasonable area. I do sort of wish that we had like more of a proper entryway, so we could probably try and like make one. We can use like a little table, we could put a plant by the door, stuff like that to turn this into like more of an entry. Luckily the bathrooms are super easy. Like this, by the way, totally functional. I promise, because I've done this before. Your Sims can like walk across this university shower so they can still get to the toilet and the sink, and then they can just shower in the middle. I would like to try and add in like maybe a couple extra decorative items. This bathroom might be functional, but it's also kind of sad looking, so it won't hurt to get some more like clutter and decor. And then in this bathroom, I'll prioritize getting a tub because we'll need it for the toddler. Should I put some like dirty clothes in here, or is that a waste of space? I actually kind of like it. It makes it seem like it's lived in. Okay, let's try and figure out this kids' room situation. I think I want to use bunk beds in here, and we can hopefully like mix and match some colors to make it look like a really lived in kids' room. And you know what? So far, I've only used the base game and 1 university shower, so maybe I'll keep this just base game and university. Although I guess you need city living because otherwise the apartment doesn't exist. This is a really cool like old locker turned bookshelf, and it kind of matches both the beds. It like ties it together. I'm really trying to make this room seem like really colorful. I also want to get a bunch of clutter and like cute stuff, but not to the point where it's like overwhelming and unusable. Do you think that it's worth putting a computer in here? I don't know if I'll be able to fit a computer desk anywhere else, so it might be nice to have it there. I want to put some posters that have some purple to like try and tie in the purple bed a bit more. I wonder if we should use that bedspread instead of the solid blue one, just so that there's like less blue. I know that sounds weird, but then we could maybe use like a bluey green on the walls. Maybe then something like this would match, except that makes this look terrible, so never mind. Maybe that could be orange. Is that totally random? We could try and get like, well, we could try and use like a cute kids wallpaper like this, or maybe I'll save that for the toddler's room. All of this is just way too much. Like way too much. Maybe the nice light blue is good. They've got a Blarfy, they have the computer. I might also give them like the little kids violin, just so there's more skill building stuff in here. You know what else? I think I want to put carpet in the kids' rooms. I tried to like put a curtain there, but I don't think that looks good. Maybe just like a window shade or something would be better. better. I just don't know what color. They all look kind of bland to me. That doesn't look good either. Somehow this looks like even worse. I don't think any of the curtains are gonna work for this. Unless I just like sized up some base game ones. You know what? Maybe these plain base game ones sized up like a tiny bit. Maybe that's all we need to do is just put some of the basic ones in. I feel like there's a lot going on color-wise in here, but maybe that's okay. I really like this ladybug rug. I think that is so cute. Oh my God, sorry. As I'm doing this toddler room, I'm realizing that I didn't put a toddler potty anywhere. So we have to put one of those. I think I can just stick it in the corner of this room and I'm pretty sure it'll still like work and be fine. But we do need a toddler potty somewhere if we're gonna have a toddler. Oh my God, wait, this is perfect. It like ties in both the colors of the bed. Forget Blarfy. You can have this thing. It's so hard for me to gauge like how high on the wall I should hang this artwork because the walls are so tall. Like you're supposed to put artwork at eye level and just the sheer height of the walls is kind of throwing me off from what eye level actually is for my Sims. But I think those bedrooms are all right. Oh my God. I feel like this apartment is going for like more of a traditional vibe now. This window is also glitched. I think when I reload the lot, it'll fix it. So I'm just gonna ignore that for now. But like with a combination of these windows and stuff, I think maybe it is a bit more traditional in here. I wanted to use wood cabinets, but I think that they kind of clash with the floor. Unless that one looks okay, maybe. Unless maybe that looks okay. Should I put the sink there, like in front of the window at the very end of the wall? Or is that weird? Maybe if I put a trash can next to it. It just feels odd for it to be like in the corner there. I'm also not really sure how to do the cabinets because I don't want to put the cabinets like directly in front of the window. Maybe they could just end though, and then we could have like shelves here. I guess the shelves are also touching into the window, which is sort of what I'm trying to avoid. Maybe we just put some like art there. Actually, I think that art and like a decent sized plant is honestly a good way to fill in the space. We can use this corner as like our little clutter corner so that these counters are still open for your Sims to cook on. You know what? That looks bad, doesn't it? I think it does. Should I put something like that or is there like no point? Wait, what if we put a shelf? And then we can put a little bit more like kitchen clutter and like decor and stuff up here without filling up all the counter space. You know what? I think that looks really good. I don't really know what tile to use as a backsplash. I always have a hard time with that when I have like these tile counters. Like what tile do you pair with the tile that's already there? This one has a little bit of gray that maybe like draws in the gray from there. And this also kind of matches the white tile in the bathroom. And I'm not super sure about this. I'm just gonna let it sit there so I can think about it. If we let it soak in a bit more, we can decide if we like it or not. Okay, well, I don't think I'm gonna use the university bed. We could probably use the city living bed though. Oh, this is good because it has like the matching closet thing that we can use. We don't really have a matching nightstand because why would there be a matching nightstand in this set of wooden pieces that all match? Who needs a matching swatch? It's The Sims. Nothing matches. I'm telling you, that is one of the most annoying parts of The Sims when you have like almost an entire set to something, but not quite. We have the bed, we have the dresser, we don't have the nightstand. Or like when they give you a bunch of windows, but like not a matching door, or all of the windows are for short wall height and then they have like a medium wall height door that doesn't fit anything. Well, we put a desk in the kids' room with a computer because I didn't think I could fit one in here, but it seems like we'll actually be able to have a desk in this room. So I might switch that computer into this one. That's actually a pretty nice little home office space. We have the cork board, there's like a little pencil cup, a computer. There's a ton of art that came with City Living, but a lot of it is really big. Like, oh my God. Okay, there's like the giant version and then the regular version, but I wasn't kidding. There's a lot of really giant artwork in this pack. I do like this painting and I think it matches okay in this room, but I might try and get like more of a blue wall. Maybe it doesn't match then. Maybe we could try and use this as like a color scheme inspiration for the rest of the house. This one might match okay. I think I like how that looks in this room. I'm not sure about the butterfly painting right next to it, so maybe I'll get rid of that. And we could put like a clock in there or something. I think this seems nice. Okay, I've been avoiding this living space thing, so let's try and figure this out. I'd like to find a wallpaper that kind of matches this painting. We have a bunch of greens, but they're not like as muted as I'd like them to be. I guess I can just use this one and then try and tie it all together. Oh, this looks a little bit small. I was thinking we could try and use this ottoman from City Living and put it above the painting, but it does look a little bit small there. So maybe I could use the painting here, like next to the front door. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Do you think we can use that as like the main living space rug? I don't know if that really works with the green, so we might have to rethink this. Okay, I have a kind of silly idea. I don't even know if I can do this. Can I, like, why can't I lower that down? Well, I was gonna try and put these cabinets, but like backwards so that I could try and use them like a TV stand. I don't think it's a good idea. I think I'm gonna just delete them. I think I want to use a really big TV too. And then if we put the table like up against the window in this nook, there's totally enough space to walk around in here. I wonder if these chairs instead have a better swatch at all. though. I wonder if we could get away with using this, like this more berry color, because that sort of matches. We have to change the wall, but that kind of matches the rug. There's a really cute city living plant that we can put on the table too. Oh my god, I just typed the motherload cheat in the search bar. That was not my intention. I was just trying to get some more money so that I could finish the build. I'm sort of wondering now if we could put like a little art corner over here. Oh, that's so annoying. The way those canvases like clip with the window is so annoying. That's definitely a cool way to like fill in that little space. I'm just not sure if it takes up like too much space. Like, is that even workable? Like, can my Sims even use that? Do you want to come try? Oh, okay, she can. Then that's all right. Okay, I was hoping this would maybe match, but that does not match at all. That's not even like close to being the right color. We do have like this more deep plum color, and even that doesn't really match. And I also don't think that I want to paint like all of the walls that color, because then it becomes like the exact same color as those chairs. Maybe we could paint like the wall behind the door that color? Wait. Or we could paint the whole hallway that color. And what if we tried to make ourselves like a fake archway or something? Okay, that seems like super out of place, so maybe not. I like the idea of that room being the darker color though. And I also like the idea of the archway. It's just that like this archway is too small. I want it to take up more of the space, and we don't really have a lot of that in the base game. I guess we have this one, and you can definitely see the hallway from there. So maybe this is okay? I just made this into a useless box of nothing, so that's great. There is like a slightly more muted purple, so maybe I'll use that in here instead. What if we use this dark brown color in the kitchen and living space? Because there's still some contrast, but it sort of ties in all the right tones. Okay, I don't know what to do about curtains either. This is a really weird space. I want to put like a pendant above the dining table, but there is none from any of these packs. This painting has sort of the right colors, but it's not really the right size for the space. Okay, maybe the bookshelf there sort of helps because it makes the wall a bit taller. Although those things don't really match. These things look really weird right here. I guess maybe it feels a bit realistic, like it feels lived in. That swatch kind of matches the rug a little bit. I don't know. I like this rug, I want to use it, but I do feel like my vision is maybe falling apart a little at the moment. We use the same rug again. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. Honestly, I feel like it was maybe better when it was all just open. You know what? Actually, this does kind of work because we can get like a coat rack and a shoe rack. I can put a little mat by the door. That does make this space feel a bit more united. So this is better. I think I really do like this space, and I like how many bedrooms it has. I feel like maybe it's done. We've got the toddler room, a shared kids room, the parents room. They have an ensuite. There's a tiny bathroom in the hall, and there's a full living space, even with like an art studio. Maybe art studio is a strong word, but there is an easel. I'm gonna stick this on the gallery for you. It's kind of weird how I have to do it because I have to delete the walls so the game thinks the whole thing is one room. I tried to put a useful description so that hopefully you can find this and use it on the gallery if you need to. The pictures all look terrible no matter what, so I don't know. Just pick any of them and upload it, I guess. It's kind of fun trying to decorate apartments and fit in a lot of space for a lot of Sims. I know I didn't put like a high chair for the toddler or anything, but I never do in like any of my builds. The kid can just eat on the floor for all I care. He can like run and sit on the couch or something. I just find high chairs like more annoying than they're actually worth when it comes to playing with them, but I hope that you enjoyed this video. I love building in The Sims, so if you want to see more stuff like this, feel free to subscribe because I post Sims builds like almost every day on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Have the best rest of your day, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow, okay? Bye, everybody. If you knew how long it took me to record this, I think you would laugh at me. Like, it's kind of embarrassing considering how small this apartment is, and I didn't even have to do like an exterior. This took me longer than it takes to build entire houses sometimes.